Welcome to the Kicked in the Ass podcast. My name's Colton. I was born in Tallahassee, Florida. Moved here to Ohio about 6 years ago for the pipeline industry. I'm new to this whole podcast shit, so you're just gonna have to forgive me, like on choppiness and video editing and all that shit. I'm not really keen to it, but I mean, as time progresses, I'll make improvements and things like that. But a little bit about myself. I moved up here 6 years ago to get into the pipeline industry. Uh, I started off as a labor hand, busting my ass, and I was on the environmental crew, uh, just swinging a shovel and a sledgehammer all day. Met a lot of really great people, and eventually I worked my way up to be a straw boss, and then I became an operator after that. And I mean, because of the viability of the industry, um, I've taken hiatuses occasionally because I tried to achieve the normal life, which is that's kind of hard to do because in this industry, like it gets in your blood, man. It really does. I love it myself, and it's at the time whenever you are working, it's uh, it's killer money, and it's just you meet good people and you see different things and do different stuff. But anyway, I'm just a common dude. You know, I work hard, and I've really just been hungry my whole life, coming from my upbringing. Um, my mama, she did everything she could to be the best mom she could be. She is. She's a saint, and she worked her ass off, and she's a registered nurse now, and she raised me and my brother. God bless her. Things that I went through, I love them both. It's very. I'm just very fortunate, and God has guided my path the entire way. But anyway, enough about me. Um, I asked some people, like I posted it on my Facebook page, what what subjects they wanted to bring up, what they wanted to talk about, questions, things like that. And one question I got from Mike was, why is per diem not the same across the board? Big Mike, as well as I do in this industry, there's cocksuckers and kinfolk, and honestly, I think that's with the companies. So like, you know, there's companies that are willing to pay their hands. They know the talent, and they know what it takes to keep a good hand and to acquire a good hand, which is not easy to come by these days at all. So some companies, like, that are pretty prominent in this area, they pay their hands less, and the pay reflects the talent 100%. So you go to a company that's shit pay, shit per diem, it's probably be some shit people, because scrubs stick around for that kind of stuff, aka cocksuckers, and kinfolk got it good no matter what. But anyway, enough about the work stuff. One, one of the biggest things, like, I noticed when I first moved up here. So I'm from the South. I'm from a little town called Taloja, Florida, and it's a caution light. That's all it is. And I mean, I grew up in a damn swamp, and not a damn ramshackle, but like the area. But I had the best of both worlds. I mean, I was in the Apalachicola National Forest, so you got pine trees, and then 45 minutes east, you got palm trees and the beach, and I love that place. It holds a special place in my heart, but not to be disrespectful to there, but I feel like here I've made my own life and progressed, and I have a family now and a wife, and I've made my own progress, so I feel like I've kind of outgrown it. I love visiting there to see my family and my friends and to reminisce, but um, I don't feel like that's somewhere I could make a homestead at, if that makes sense. But anyway, the differences in the culture was the crazy shit that shocked me. Like whenever I came up here, um, my first interaction with somebody from up north was I went to a gas station and I held the door for a lady. And she walks in and she looks at me and she says, I can hold my own fucking door. And I said, and I slammed it in her face and I said, you can open that motherfucker too. I mean, and I'm not like that, you know. I don't. I'm a lot more level-headed than I used to be for certain, but I at that time, like I'm all about retribution. I'm all about justice, and like, what a fucking rude thing to say to somebody that just held the door for you. But I mean, through time, with my wife and everything, I've learned that like that's a sign of flirting, I guess, up north. I don't. That was never. That was just common respect that was beat into you where I'm from. That's not something that was, seen as flirtatious. It was just like, you respect women and you serve women. The man is a protector, and that's what you do. You open up the car doors. You open up gas station doors. But anyway, the fucking the lingo, like, and I can tell you right now, like with a southern accent, it's literally, that's probably why they call it a draw, because it draws people to you. Because coming up here, that's the first thing they notice is like, oh, I love your accent, like, and it's not something that's like, oh, you're from Florida, like, motherfucker, I'm not from Florida. I'm not from like, fucking trap rap down South Florida. Like, I'm from Pine Tree. The simplest way I say it is Pine Tree, Florida, not Palm Tree, Florida. But like the lingo with the fucking the yins, and then that was another thing too. Right after I, shut the door in the lady's face, and she called me an asshole or whatever. I went up there and I had my crew behind me, and the guys I was working with, and she said, are yins together or are yins separate? And I was like, huh? I was like, yins, isn't that a fucking form of currency? She's like, no, 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 that's like our y'all. But I mean, like, people up north, they bash us for how our dialect and how we talk because we got to draw. But like, if you think about it, y'all makes sense. So Y apostrophe ALL means you all, and yins, like, what the fuck is that? Like, U and M's? Like, I don't. I didn't understand it, and like roof and fucking like ROOF, fucking roof. That's how you say it. It's proper fucking English. I'm sorry to break it to whoever's watching this from up north, but I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. Like, I have met some of the best people in my life from up here. Um, I had some people ask me and told me to talk about it, and made some statements on some previous posts that I made about making a podcast, and saying, like, about the coal mine, how was the coal mine, and, all these other things. And honestly, man, I'm here to tell you that I have never met a more solid, loyal group of people than the people that I work with in the coal mine. Like, I have nothing but good things to say about it. And I know, like, all the shit's going on in the world about, the EPA and, oh my God, it's emissions and all this other shit. It, that's beside the fact. For the common man to have a job, and that well paying of a job, me, unfortunately, when you start out, it's like for people that don't know, for people at home that don't know, when you start out, it's like a really low, it, a lower pay rate. So like in comparison to what I was making. So I went from being a heavy equipment operator on the pipeline, fucking, which I still am, but out of shape, and to going to just bust your balls, fucking hard labor, dude. I mean, like fucking in the Chinese sweatshop, like getting it, son. That's how the the coal mine is. But I can tell you right now, like the guys in there, it's do or die. And I'm not kidding. Like I'm not exaggerating at all. Or I don't give a fuck about glory. I don't give a fuck about trying to make myself look better. Like I'm dead serious when you're in life or death situations on a daily basis, especially as a side boulder. And I'm not gonna. I don't want to get in trouble or get other people in trouble. I'm not gonna get too furry into the details. However, you're in life or death situations, and like everybody that is on that mining machine, you count on each other to keep yourself to keep you have to work as a unit. It's like a fucking ant farm. Like you have to work as a team in order for everybody to survive. And I could tell you, like I've never met a better group of finer individuals that and I mean, from the transitions to different industries and trying to find a normal life. Excuse me, I'm gonna take a drink real quick. Trying to find a normal income. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. But I can tell you right now that in any industry that you go to, there's gonna be people that are trying to stab you in the back. There's gonna be people that are trying to cut your throat. And the people that were with me, I mean, it was do or die. It was, we got your fucking back 100%. All the way from my section boss, all the way down to the guy that was rib pitting with me. And the guys that taught me. And, fortunately, thank God, I was blessed with abilities and I progressed pretty quickly. And the people gave me the opportunity to move up faster because in there it's a sign of respect. You pay your dues and you move up, which it is in a lot of good industries. Which I don't see anything wrong with. You got to work for what the fuck you want, and you earn what the fuck you have, and I don't disregard that at all. I respect it. Fortunately, the people that were ahead of me were willing and I guess saw the ability to let me do those things. So, anyway, um, I progressed pretty quickly, and I'm just very glad that I met the people that I have in there. And the same thing goes with the pipeline industry. Like, there's when I first started here, like 6 years ago, there was people like on the street waiting to get your job. That's a fact. Like if you do not cut the fucking cheese, you were out. So you progress and you try to make it, and sometimes it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good of a hand you are. If somebody kisses ass better than you do, or if somebody is uh, related to somebody, they're gonna make it versus you. That's a good hand. Um, you know, through time, I've really learned that it's not about you gotta look at the big picture, but you also have to look at the in the now and try to. That's a struggle that I've had, is trying to live in the moment, but also see the bigger picture, and then stop sometimes and smell the roses, because like I get fucking like I just want to go and do, and I don't stop and say, hey man, look around you, look what you have. I bought a house at 23. I have two cars, and uh, I have a beautiful wife and two beautiful girls, and you just don't stop and smell the roses sometimes, and I think that's important. Like people need to emphasize on that. Um, some of my, and that's some of the complications of the workplace. But anyway, enough about work fucking bullshit. But like today, with one of the things that helps me the most is music. I've always had a strong faith in God, and I've always had, that was something that was instilled in me uh, from my childhood, and I've always had a firm faith in God, and I've held on that, still hold on to that now. And just like in life, there's ups and downs and struggles and doubts, and but one of the things that has helped me the most is honestly, man, is music. Like, eh, I don't know what it is about my brain or how I fucking process things or whatever I do. Um, Music has always helped me through the good times and the bad times. There's been things that I feel, uh, you can feel it through the music when somebody has, pain and sorrow. And like, David Allan Coe says, he says, boy, can you make folks cry when you play and sing? And like I'm telling you, there's some songs that I can't listen to without shedding a tear. Same thing with, joyous occasions. Don't mind my cat, Archman. Watch out, buddy. Watch out. Ad lib. But there's some things that you can't live without, and I can tell you, man, music is one of those things. Um, and even in today's world, like, fuck me, what I would have done to be born in the 70s and 80s to just enjoy and experience that music. Like, could you fucking imagine like a Eddie Van Halen solo coming out on the radio like Eruption? For what? Or fucking going to Woodstock, which was 69. But, seeing Jimi Hendrix, playing the national anthem live, or hearing a fucking new Led Zeppelin song, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's some of the things that I like that just help me push, and even in through, physical fitness and just life in general. It's been one of my biggest motivators is music, and also, couldn't tell, food. Fucking love food. Like, my mom, she taught me how to cook since I was knee high, and I've watched her, and how, and my mama too, my mama's mama, how everybody, like, there's people that would come from states around just for her red velvet cake, and and my mom, like everybody, all my friends, but my mom was a cool mom. We'd all go, and we sit on the back porch and drink and shit, and they would always say, like, God damn, we'd fucking dive in the fridge and be like, fuck, dude, some banging ass food. And that's where it all started, man. And honestly, even before I joined the army, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a chef. I want to go to culinary school, but life happens, things happen, and I don't regret the path that I've taken, because I believe that God set me on that path. Anyway, that's another thing. Like, that shit makes life worth living. Like, I can tell you right now, like, there's some days where I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't want to do this shit, and like, I think about that fucking Hunt's Brothers pizza, dude, at the fucking gas station. I'm like, shit, son, hell yeah, come on. You fucking scarf down that pizza, slam me a fucking Monster Energy drink, and get the fucking rolling, dude. Take the world head on. And that's been my life for a while. And I love to cook, because I think it's a act of service, and I love seeing. It's not for the envy. It's not for the I guess for the vanity, you could say. It's just, I like serving other people, and seeing their reactions to, like, damn, dude, that's a wicked flavor. That's a badass combination. How'd you think of that? And I don't know, it comes off the dome sometimes. But the principle is, it all came back from certain roots. You know, like, that's another thing. Like, coming up here, like, the food chains aren't the same at all. Like, bro, you know how fucking bad I miss Zaxby's, like, down south. them chicken fingers and fries. Like, it's so simple. It's chicken fingers and fries. But I can tell you right now, like, I've never even had Cane's, and I can tell you that, like, Cane's ain't got shit on Zaxby's, bro. Like, that garlic butter toast with fucking seasoned fries and the ranch and Zax sauce, honey mustard with a 6-piece chicken finger with that sweet tea and like the fancy ice that all the white girls like. Fucking, good stuff. That's the one of the things I miss the most about down south is the food. But I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't trade my life and what I'm living for the world. I really wouldn't. Um, Another thing too, like in today's world in social media, it's such a influence, and even people like that I admire and I respect and my elders and stuff, have even been fooled by, the thing that I revert to is, the expression of right wing, left wing. It all comes from the same bird. And I believe that's true. I don't give a fuck if you're white, black, yellow. It doesn't matter to me. Or Democrat, if you're libertarian, if you're Republican, it doesn't make a shit. But, I believe I love this country and I love the freedoms that we have. I love America. Hate the government, but I love what this country stood for and what it stands for and what the patriots that still know the core principles, what they stand for. A lot of people want to complain about the certain idealisms and things that they see on the news. Like, bro, the news is fucking bullshit. Like, eh, my dad, he ate, slept, and breathed Fox News for years, my whole life, and I swore that I would never watch it whenever I left the house, and I stuck to it, and I haven't. And it's all just a ramp up, and it's a money source from both sides. CNN and all these bullshit networks of, trying to feed you into whatever narrative that they want to push. And I mean, we've all been COVID talked to death. I don't even want to elaborate on that because I'm so sick of fucking hearing about it. We're all just human lab rats, and it was like a big experiment, and everybody just like fucking forgot about it. It's crazy. But my point is just live your life. Like, hug your kids, man. Like, listen to some music, eat some food, cook, go do something. Go for a fucking bike ride. Go run. Don't just be stuck to a TV like, oh my God, what's gonna happen next? Like, who gives a shit? I can promise you, okay, 9 times out of 10, the problems that these networks are presenting to you, you cannot do a fucking thing about. Now, when the wolf comes knocking at the door and it's in your front yard, that's different. People are like, oh, well, you could do something about it beforehand. Like, yeah, there's things that you can be proactive about for sure, but I don't believe in being consumed in fears and ideology. Life marches on. I mean, you think about all the way from the Cold War. I mean, there was people that, I mean, they were practicing drills on nuclear warfare about what, could happen if a nuclear bomb went off because of the Cuban Missile Crisis. And it's like these same threats and these same things are happening now. The same craziness. And of course, we don't have a president that's shitting his pants like we do now. Yeah, I'll give you that. But, these problems and situations have served throughout time. I can tell you, like, I try to keep hope in society today. I try to keep, I try to be like a nice person. But it's kind of hard. Like, listen, man, I know, like, mass shooters are a terrible thing. Absolutely. 100%. But, I can tell you right now that I could see why Walmart could inspire one. Like if that guy walked into Walmart and saw the shit that I've seen and the things like, yeah, that fuck the fucking rude people and like the motherfuckers that park the buggy sideways in the aisle and just like staring for 20 fucking minutes at a set of light bulbs, like, oh, which one am I gonna pick out, 120 voltage or 135 voltage? Oh man, I look at the amperage, or just sitting there just fucking off or on their phone, or like people on fucking speakerphone in a public place. Like if you talk on fucking speaker in a public place, like, fuck off. I'm just here to tell you, like, nobody wants to hear your fucking conversation. Like, grow up. Put the fucking phone to your ear, or get a pair of AirPods or headphones or whatever fucking device that you have. I mean, I'm sick of this shit. You know, eh, Same thing, like like people on social media, and like you go through, like, it's fucking addicting, man. Like you go through this fucking, like, this doom scrolling. Like I catch myself doing it, and I try to get myself out of that. Whenever I catch myself in that pattern, it's like I try not to just mindlessly scroll through videos, but like, man, dude, you get down a fucking rabbit hole, especially in a topic like you're interested in, or you get on like reels, just keep on scrolling. You get deep, and one of the things that I see that I fucking despise is people that they video themselves reacting to the video that we want to fucking see. Like, I don't want to see you like, yeah, uh-huh, yeah. Like, shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to see that. It's annoying. And one of the biggest diseases right now is like TikTok. Like, holy shit, man. I don't know how people can just sit there and watch like hours and hours and fucking hours of just the same fucking sound over and over. And some stupid bitch, like, doing the dance to it of just the same thing. Like, how do you hear the same sound 100 fucking times? I don't know. It's like smacking, like people that don't know how to close their fucking mouth when they're chewing. It's like, were you raised in a fucking barn? Like, how do you fucking, how do you put up with that? I don't. Anyway, you know, it all comes down to, I think in life, like, a lot of people, they're the same. We're all the same. We're all just living this life and going through the struggle, and trying to make it through. And if you like stop and just talk to somebody, you can find a lot more common ground than you think. And honestly, that's what stops me from, besides being, medicated, that's what stops me from just hating everything. It's just, I realize that people are people, and you can find common ground with just about anyone, even from different religious backgrounds. And like big fractural differences with people that you know cause a lot of conflict whenever you first meet somebody. Like, oh, what do you believe in? And then they say, oh, well, I'm a Buddhist, or I'm a Muslim, or whatever. Like, I'm a firm believer in, you are your environment. And I don't hold somebody accountable for being what they were raised in. There's nothing wrong to me. Like, I believe that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior 100%. But somebody that was in a family that was Islamic or Buddhist or whatever that they were raised in, I mean, they have an avid choice in adulthood, but whenever it's instilled in you as a child, it's like it's like comparable to childhood trauma. Like, it's just, they this is something that's been with them forever. And how could you blame them for, that's in their core? That's what they believe, and that's the biggest issue I have with, some people that are just, which it's not our job to condemn or judge. even as just a person, not even as just a Christian, just as a person, I believe, and I, if believe what you want to believe, if I don't give a shit if you're gay, I don't give a shit, if you identify with a fucking alphabet gang, LGBTQIA, LMNOP, whatever the fuck it is, whatever you want to do, man. It's just don't force those things upon other people. I mean, let people live their lives. If you have this ideology that people should accept you for who you are, why shouldn't you accept other people for who they are and what they believe, and just be tolerant of it and realize that we're all fucking human beings and we all bleed red. That's the way I feel about it. The world is just it's a crazy fucking place. Like I said, the news, it'll fuel the fire 100%. And don't dive into these ideologies and these things, these narratives that people push, because I promise you there's a distraction, there's bigger things going on behind the picture. Like all these people, like I'm all about saying fuck Joe Biden, like yeah, fuck Joe Biden, but do you know who's behind him? Oh shit. It's There's a maestro. It's not just he's a puppet for these things. And honestly, like the dude's senile and has lost his fucking mind. Um, and I'm here to tell you, like, just what blows my mind is the people that still support the guy. Like, have you not seen this dude? Like, he shit his pants on stage, and can't even form a sentence or walk up a flight of stairs. Like, if you want to fuck a debate, dude, like, give him a flight of stairs. That is really see what's going on. Anyway, enough about politics. Um, it really that's it's just stupid conflicts that people they it's such a strong belief that they will literally part ways with each other. Like I have half of my family that has disowned me because I have, I guess you could say, more right leaning beliefs, but I believe in the truth. I believe in facts. I believe in this country. I believe in the fundamentals of this country, not whatever you feel or whatever whatever illusion you want to accept. I don't accept illusions. I accept facts. And this all ties into like the future. Like these people, they want to buy into all these things, and it's like it's insane how fast the world is progressing. Like with AI, like bro, fuck, you know how fat like just like the nerds have taken over. All these kids that you fucking picked on, and you're like, oh, you're a bitch, whatever, because they wanted to be on computers. Like, I knew back then, I never believed in, bullying people. I always got along pretty much with everybody, but I never thought that that would be, uh, they would rule everything, because that's what's happening with AI right now. Is it's progressing so fast. I mean, they can you can project and translate dialect from all the way across the room. They can form sentences, images, music. They can take. I mean, Randy Travis, for God's sake, made a Travis. Which I mean, I'm all for it. The man had a stroke, and he's down and out, and he can't project his beautiful voice like he once could before. So now he's using AI to make new songs, and there's a good side and a bad side to everything. Um, like there's so many things that could be. It's a positive thing. So like even the AI scares the shit out of me. But uh, like the positive thing is AI. It can be used to translate languages. I mean we're talking about a barrier that has existed for centuries, and somebody goes to a different country or two people meet in one common place and they can talk to each other fluently because of technology. And then you also have the downside. The common man is snuffed out, like with people that work at which there's nothing wrong with it. Like your fast food places, people, they're being replaced by robots. I mean, they're, they can cook fries, they can flip burgers, whatever, and they can do the same shit that you can do. Same thing with translators like that. You're right out the window, dude, because of this technology. And I don't know what the implementations will be in the future. Honestly, I think hopefully the good outweighs the bad. I'm hopeful of that because I believe that there's people that are intelligent enough to say, hey, we need to get a chokehold on this thing, and you best believe that if it has anything to do with interfering with politicians' careers or governmental careers, yeah, they're going to get a hold on it. I mean, I don't. I, I have an optimistic view of the future, and everything is in God's hands. In my perspective, in my world, it may be different for other people, but in my world, that's how I think, and I think that's how the game is played. And honestly, with a lot of things are cyclical. So in today's history, history is bound to repeat itself if you do not remember it. And I agree with that 100%. Um, that's the problem that a lot of, especially this country, because this country is so young. 1776. It, in comparison to China, I mean, China is 4 people old. We're 3 people old. 2 people old. And we have to course correct. And hopefully it's not too harsh either way. But with the how I've seen my child, my daughter, develop and how, her personality and how intelligent she is and how she adapts to the world around her. I know there's other kids out there like that. I know that there's people that are instilling the right, correct things, and I know there's people. It's few and far between, but there's people that are in my generation that were raised to work hard and to earn what they what they have and what they are going to have in the future. Know that it takes commitment and it takes discipline, and that's what gives me hope. Honestly, having kids, it changed my life completely. um, I mean, I used to, I mean, honestly, when I came up here, all I was worried about was just chasing ass and getting a check, and then it all flipped upside down, and I found my wife, the love of my life, and it changed for the better, 100%. I wasn't traded for the world, and that's what I'm saying. Like, in any despair, in any situation that you're in, whether it be loss, whether it be financial stress, whether it be, workplace stress, whatever it is, um, things can change in a blink of an eye. And I hold on to that. But honestly, I'm enthralled to have this opportunity to do this. It's something that's been a long time coming. My wife has always said, you're a really good speaker. You need to do a podcast. And everybody, I've spoke publicly at some pretty unfortunate events, but everybody always said, which not to toot my own horn, but people said you're a good speaker. You need to do something with it. And my wife, she encouraged me to do a podcast. And my buddy Cade, he came to me and said there's things and ideas that need to be heard and need to be said. And honestly, that's the premises of what I want to do. Just a perspective from the common man. Like, I don't give a shit. If it grows, if it progresses, that's great. I'm glad. Yeah, it's awesome. But If it doesn't, it's something that I want to be excited about, and it's something that I want to use as a hobby to vent and to express my ideas and make things that are not so commonplace, which is the common man talking about big and small issues to people. I don't think there's enough perspective of that. I mean, you get perspective of celebrities and people that are in music and things like that from these major podcasts, and that's great. Like, I love it. I love hearing it. But there's not too many people that get to express their ideas. That's just regular Joe Blow. And like, yeah, it's easy to talk about problems when you got fucking $10 million in the bank. Like, yeah, yeah, that'd be easy to talk about past struggles about that. But money doesn't solve everything. But um, it's just a perspective that is not found commonly, and that's something that I want to utilize this podcast as to express my ideas to other people. But if you're tuning in, um, and you listen to this all the way through, honestly, I appreciate you 100%. And I'm going to do my best to edit. And, this is a work in progress. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just, I know the basics and I'm implementing those basics. And through time, it'll change and evolve and become a better thing. And I wanted to do I'm gonna have guests on. I mean, I don't give a shit if it's somebody that works at Mickey D's. It doesn't matter. I want to get different perspective from different people, business owners and common people, and maybe even people that are activists, politicians, whatever. Whoever's open to it. But um, thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate it. And there's more to come from the Kicked in the Ass podcast. Thank you.